And welcome back, and it is the 20th of Feb, further maths, 5 a day. Let's have a look at the first question. All right, so we have a sketch the graph of. Now sketch means a couple of things. One means I need to do any crossing points on the X or Y axis. It means I need to get the shape correct. And here, very specifically, it says work out the equation, the line of the symmetry of the graph. In other words, I need the vertex. So it's probably, actually it might be easy to just try and factorize this. Let's just have a go. As you may have seen me do before, we can sometimes take a sensible guess here. Now if this doesn't work, I'm just going to complete the square, but I think I can do this. So I know it's going to be 3x and x, because those are the only real normal factors of 3x squared. I want 36, and I want this number here to be minus 31, which means both of these are going to be negative, which is going to give me a plus 36 and a minus 31. Now 36 is 12 and 3. I'm going to start there because I know 3 times 12 is 36. So that's too much, isn't it? Because that's greater than 31. So it's not going to be 30. It's not going to be 12 and 3. So let's try the other one, which is 9 and 4. Now 3 times 9 is 27. And if I add another 4, that gives me 31. So that does work. So it's going to be 3x is times the minus 9, which is minus 27, and then I need to turn the other one to a 4, and that should then work. So quick check. So 3x times x is 3x squared, 3x times minus 9 is minus 27x, minus 4x is minus 31x, and minus 4 times minus 9 is plus 36. That has worked. Now, I haven't even finished yet, have I? Because I've got to sketch it. I almost thought I was done then. So that means my roots to this are going to be x equals 4 over 3 and x is equal to 9, which means the midpoint, in other words, the line of symmetry, is going to be halfway between these, which is going to be 9 plus 4 over 3 divided by 2. Well, 9 plus 4 over 3 divided by 2 is going to give me 31 over 6. Not the easiest of numbers, but okay. Which means my line of symmetry is 31 over 6. So it means I know I cross at 4 over 3. Now, because it's a sketch, I'm going to show that. I know it crosses at 9, again, because it's a sketch, I'm going to show that. And I also know, in fact, let's draw it in first. I know that my y value crossing point is going to be 36. X equals 0 gives me 36. And I know my line of symmetry is going to be the line x equals 31 over 6. Have I done everything? Well, I've got my y-axis crossing point. I've got my x-axis crossing points. In fact, I'll do that slightly neater in a real exam so you can actually read the number. I've got my line of symmetry. Yep, I think I'm done. Happy with all that. Next question. Okay, so it says rearrange, and then it says make C the subject. Okay, there's not literally a set of steps to follow here, but there's kind of similar steps each time. So step 1, I'm going to multiply through by the denominator. And that's going to give me yc cubed minus 8 times y is equal to 4c cubed plus m. Then I'm going to move everything that's a c cubed to the left and everything that's not a c cubed to the right. So that's going to give me yc cubed minus 4c cubed is equal to m plus 8y. Then I'm going to collect my c cubes, in other words, factorize out the c cubed. So c cubed y minus 4 is equal to m plus 8y. Divide by the thing in the bracket, and that tells you that c cubed is equal to m plus 8y divided by y minus 4. But that's c cubed, and I want c, so therefore my final answer is going to be c is equal to the cube root of m plus 8y divided by y minus 4. And that is question done. Next question. Work out the rate of change. Well, this is code. Well, it's not really a code word, it just is. This is code for gradient. So you see that, work out the gradient. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you'll get a couple of marks for that. So work out the rate of change of y with respect to x at the point on the curve where x equals minus 1. In other words, what's the gradient? So dy dx is going to be equal to 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. And I want to work out that at x equals minus 1. So I'm going to show what I'm doing. So it's 3 times minus 1 squared minus 4 minus 1 plus 1, which is equal to 3. Well, minus 1 squared is 1, so it's 3. Minus 4 is plus 4, plus 1, And so all that's going to come together to give me a gradient of 8. Next question. Transformation question. The transformation matrix 0, 1, 1, 0 maps the point P to Q. The transformation matrix -3, 0, 0, -3 maps the point Q to R. R is a point 6, 15. Okay, right. So just to be clear, we're going from P using this matrix here to Q, and then we're going from Q to R. So we'll call this matrix 1 and we'll call this matrix 2. Work out the coordinates of the point P. All right, this is an interesting question. Now, if you did further maths A level, you do the inverse matrix, you just work it out backwards and you'd get the answer. This one's slightly trickier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume the point P is, what should I do? I'll say the point P is x, y. And then if I do the matrix 1 on this, that's 0, 1, 1, 0, times by x, y, well, that's going to be 0 times x is 0, 1 times y. In other words, it's going to switch my x and y around. And that's because this is a reflection of the line y equals x. Then I'm going to take that answer, I'm going to do the matrix -3, 0, 0, -3. Well, I know already that is an enlargement scale factor -3, but let's do it anyway. So I'm going to multiply that by the previous answer, yx, and that's going to give me -3y, 0 times 0, -3x. Okay, and I know that, so it must be the case that -3y is equal to -6, which means that y is equal to 2. And it is the case that -3x is equal to -15. So to be clear, I'm equaling it to that coordinate there. And so therefore x is equal to 5, which means my original point P is the point 5, 2. That's actually quite a difficult question at the end. So good thinking question at the end. Usual thing. Good mix of questions. Any questions, do let me know. Do like and subscribe to the channel, please. That'd be great. I'd be really thankful. And I will see you for the next one. Thanks all.